Nikocado Avocado and Ethan have been going back and forth for months now. It all started when Ethan posted a video titled Nikocado Avocado Called Me Ugly, and a weird sort of love-hate friendship was born. Nikocado would react to Ethan, Ethan would react to Nick, then Nick would react to Ethan reacting to Nick, and then Ethan would react to Nick reacting to Ethan reacting to him. Yeah, there's at least 9 videos of them going back and forth. Eventually Nick agreed to do an interview, and honestly, everyone was really excited. But at the last minute, Nick decided to pull out of the interview and leave Ethan on the hook for plane tickets and hotel reservations. Now people are wondering what Nick's true intentions really were. It's a mess, so let's get into it. So, if you've ever watched Nikocado before, you were probably left wondering if what he's doing is just an act for views and money, or if that's how he actually acts.
I'm gonna prove it to all the haters that I'm skinny, and if they have a problem with it, they can get off my page.
We rarely get to see Nick outside of his mukbang setting, and when we do, it's normally at the Heart Attack Grill, where Nick pretty much acts the same. The only time we've been able to catch glimpses of the real Nikocado is when he's collabing with his friend Carly Steele. When Nick is just being Nick, he actually seems like a really cool guy, which honestly confused people even more. Why is this once vegan YouTuber who could get views just by his personality alone resorting to these extreme mukbang videos? I think that's what Ethan wanted to get to the bottom of during his planned interview. Now, let me just say, Nick wasn't an easy guest to get. He had a list of demands for Ethan to complete before he even agreed to do the show.
Ethan and Hildy, if you want me on your podcast, you need to fly me out there because, and I only fly first class. It's not because...
I know he's kidding, but done, bro. You don't know me. I spent $6,000 on a scorpion chair. I'll fly you out first class. Done.
I think I'm really that important.
Done.
It's because I don't fit in the seats. And I'm not even being funny. I barely even fit in first class coming here. I'm currently in Las Vegas. I also need payment for my time.
Done.
Because I am very busy. I post every single day and I just do. So you need to fly me there.
Done,
you better give
done.
me first class seats and someplace to go.
Ethan also revealed that Nick wanted a bowl of only blue M&Ms and another bowl with red Starburst along with $15,000. They settled on $5,000 and the flights were booked. For the past few weeks, Nick and Ethan have really been going back and forth with each other, getting everyone excited for this interview. It was kind of clear that Ethan was more excited for the interview than Nick. Nick just kept saying like, what are we even going to talk about? It's just going to be all of them against me, and all they're going to bring up is my weight. He never really seemed too excited, but nonetheless, they both talked about each other's weight in every video and just picked at each other for the promo. You know, no one really took this too seriously. Most people assumed it was just them picking at each other and creating fake drama to promote the big interview. It was never really that serious, until it was. Ethan had made a joke about Nick needing to bring his own defibrillator with him because they didn't have one, and Nick didn't like that very much. Right before Nick was due to come on the show, he canceled. Nick posted a quick update on his video the other day, announcing he was no longer going on the show, but put the real explanation on Patreon.
Well, hi there, people. I just made the executive decision to not go to that interview. I told them no. And I'm not going to tell you why on YouTube, what went down. I'm not going to go into the drama here. I just kind of want to move on. But I did put a story time on, well, you can check it out if you want to know, because a lot of people of mine they're not even interested, which is very evident by now, but I just put it on my Patreon account. So click the link down below if you want. You have to be a grown-up to follow me there, by the way. You have to be. Must. But I just put my side of things on there, and I explained to you why I said no. I explained to you why I'm canceling. I'm not going. I'm not doing it.
A lot of people were really annoyed by this. They just went back and forth, keeping people invested for months. Then days before the interview, he pulls out and hides behind a $21.50 a month subscription. People were so mad. So Ethan ended up purchasing Nick's Patreon subscription just so he could watch and legally react to his video on YouTube. Nick had this really scary message before his video saying that if this video is distributed, he would sue, but Ethan, being Mr. Fair Use, knew that wasn't true. Nick started off his video by saying everyone else he's ever done an interview with has always been kind and respectful, and he kind of got the feeling that Ethan was looking for a shit show. He even said he thinks Ethan is looking for a Trisha Paytas replacement. Ethan was surprised by that because he thought they were just hyping up the interview by going back and forth. He said he's definitely not looking for a Trisha Paytas replacement, and he hates that people are even saying that. Nick also said that he was annoyed that nothing between them was kept private. Ethan kept talking about their private emails, discussing how much Nick wanted to even come out and do the interview, and Nick just thought that wasn't very professional. Apparently, the deciding factor for Nick to back out of the interview was Ethan's last reaction video on him. Nick said he was making fun of his weight, talking about defibrillators and stents in his heart, and he really didn't like that. Ethan was really confused because their whole thing from day one was talking about each other's weight. They both went back and forth about that, and Nick really played into it as well. Nick was also pretty upset that Ethan was talking negatively about his own account. Nick felt like if this was a girl they were talking about, Ethan wouldn't have been saying the things that he was saying about Nick. Ethan responded by saying he felt like Nick was trying to make a claim of misogyny when that's not true. And not to mention, those comments were on the first video he ever did on Nick. Ethan was just confused why Nick would agree to do the interview if those comments are what's making him back out. He really just felt like it was kind of an excuse.
I really disagree strongly with these claims of misogyny. Since then, we've continued to have this relationship where we're going back and forth. And since then, he's agreed to come on where we booked him the hotel and bought him the flight and did all this stuff for him. So if you knew that that made you uncomfortable for the first time, why did you agree to come on the show?
Ethan said he couldn't tell if Nick was actually upset or if he was just trying to cash out on the Patreon thing. Their entire back and forth has always been on YouTube. It really doesn't make sense for Nick to put his explanation on Patreon unless he was trying to profit one more time from Ethan. Now, a lot of people think this is the real reason Nick canceled. Nick went on to complain about how poorly his reaction videos on Ethan were doing. He said they were massively underperforming and were getting at least 70% less views than usual.
The last one I made, I got a notice from YouTube because they give you analytics like when you hit certain benchmarks or you're massively I woke up to an email saying I'm massively underperforming on his video. It was like, you're getting 75,000 less views than usual.
Ethan said that's probably the real reason Nick decided to cancel.
This is the real reason. I feel like this is the real reason, bro.
There's nothing wrong with Nick changing his mind and maybe even feeling uncomfortable. But he didn't need to make all the excuses and make Ethan look bad instead of just telling the truth. Ethan also pinned a comment under his video and said, "I don't know if I made it clear enough in the video, but I am very sorry to Nick for taking the banter too far. I must have misread the room. Even so, some stuff I said was insensitive and I can understand why it would make him feel uncomfortable. Regardless, very sad the interview won't be happening, but I wish him well and think he's very talented and funny. Please do not send him any hate, y'all. Peace and love." People reacted to the news under Ethan's video, writing, "Dude, Ethan should not have to apologize again. Taking the banter too far is not what made Nick cancel this interview. He's scared of being himself. This is the real Nick, and he's scared as to be a genuine person in front of people. This is probably gonna hurt Olivia the most." Well, I guess Nick actually felt bad about canceling because he issued an apology to Ethan, and it's actually pretty good. Nick talked about the situation during his Cheesecake Factory video, and he said Ethan and him are cool and revealed that they both personally apologized to each other. Nick said Ethan got refunded for everything, and he also offered to pay Ethan back if they couldn't get the ticket or the hotel refunded. Nick said the situation isn't anything like Trisha because Trisha ghosted him, then lied about him for 2 years straight, so it's completely different. Nick said he wants to put the situation to rest. He said he just changed his mind and there's apparently no hard feelings. Nick called the situation rocky and said he realized he isn't as thick-skinned as he thought he was. He made it known that Ethan talked about his weight first, and the only reason he brought up Ethan's weight was because it was a defense mechanism. Nick did say the door for an interview is still open, and it might be a possibility one day. Ethan reacted to his apology, and he agreed that they're both cool and there's no hard feelings. The only bad thing was Ethan wasn't able to get a refund for the first-class plane ticket because the ticket was in Nick's name. Ethan said Nick did reach out and offer to pay for anything that wasn't able to be refunded, but Ethan doesn't really feel like that's necessary. Ethan also defended Nick and said he doesn't like the comparisons between Nick and Trisha because they're nothing alike. Ethan talked about Trisha for a little bit and said what he really loved about Trisha was that they were able to go back and forth with each other without feelings being hurt until, you know, the end of Frenemies. Now, I don't know if you guys remember the whole Trisha versus Nikocado drama, but Trisha said that Nikocado was a stalker, and Ethan made a comment on that.
And also, like he said, she ghosted. I'm not super familiar with the Trisha Nick drama either, but apparently he did a collab with her. He flew out to meet her, and then she ghosted him, said she didn't know him, called him a stalker, which is something I noticed she does a lot. Everybody's a stalker to Trisha. That's why she doesn't have 24-hour security. She has 48-hour security. You know what I'm saying? For every stalker. Gabby, Nick, me. Yeah. We need RoboCop posted outside Trisha's house at all times.
Ethan really appreciated how genuine Nick was in his video, and he liked the fact that he actually dropped the act for it. Even people under the video are saying how refreshing it is that we actually kind of got a good ending to something that could have been really messy. Here's what people had to say. For someone with such a reputation for being dramatic, he literally handled the drama better than anyone else I have seen. He earned a fan. Glad this ended on a positive note. Would love to see more of the real Nick. He seems like a really sweet dude. So finally a drama that ends on a good note. As always, let me know what you guys think about everything down below, and I'll see you guys next time.